Some knockouts are so violent, they changed fighters' careers forever. Tonight, you're about to witness the most terrifying moments ever seen inside the UFC octagon. In 10th place, Uriah Hall's spinning hook kick on The Ultimate Fighter 17 sent shockwaves through the MMA world. Inside the TUF gym, with the clock ticking down, Hall unleashed a lightning-fast spin that landed flush on Adam Sella's jaw. The impact was instant. Sella dropped motionless as silence swept the room. Dana White, cage-side, called it one of the nastiest knockouts he had ever seen in the fight business. He later tweeted that Sella was out cold for nearly 4 minutes, only sitting up at 6 minutes and still needing an ambulance at 9 minutes. No main event crowd, no title on the line, just pure, terrifying violence that left even hardened fighters shaken. Hall advanced in the tournament, but the real legacy was the fear his kick inspired. This is how the countdown begins. With a knockout so rare and chilling, it set the tone for everything to come. Number 9. Gabriel Gonzaga's head kick knockout of Mirko Cro Cop at UFC 70 sent a chill through the heavyweight division. Cro Cop, the feared Croatian striker, was known for ending careers with his own left high kick. But with seconds left in the first round, it was Gonzaga, the supposed underdog, who flipped the script. He launched a thunderous right high kick that crashed into Cro Cop's temple. The result was instant and horrifying. Cro Cop's legs twisted beneath him, his body went rigid, and he collapsed in a heap, eyes wide open but completely unconscious. The arena fell silent before erupting in disbelief. That single moment did not just end the fight, it shattered Cro Cop's aura and handed Gonzaga the 2007 Knockout of the Year. It is the kind of upset that rewrites legacies and leaves a permanent mark on UFC history. Which knockout shocked you the most? Comment below. In 8th place, Edson Barboza's spinning wheel kick against Terry Etim at UFC 142 is a masterclass in violence and precision. With the fight deep into the third round, Barboza unleashed a lightning-fast spin, his heel cutting through the air and landing flush on Etim's temple. The impact was instant. Etim's body froze, arms rigid, collapsing to the canvas like a marionette whose strings had been cut. The arena erupted and Mike Goldberg's voice echoed over the chaos. Maybe the most spectacular knockout in UFC history. Barboza's technique wasn't just rare, it was flawless. A strike so clean it earned him $100,000 on the spot. Moments like this are why spinning kicks remain the holy grail of highlight reels. The image of Etim's body locked in mid-fall still haunts fans and fighters alike, proof that in the UFC, artistry and danger often arrive in the same split second. Number 7. John Jones unleashed a moment of pure violence at UFC Live 1 against Brandon Vera. With the first round winding down, Jones trapped Vera on the mat and drove a crushing downward elbow straight through Vera's guard. The impact was immediate. Vera's orbital bone shattered, his face contorted in agony, and the referee jumped in to stop the fight at 3 minutes 19 seconds of round 1. That single strike wasn't just a finish, it was a warning shot to the entire division. Jones, barely in his 20s, showed a level of creative brutality that bent the rules and broke his opponent. The sound of that elbow echoed through the arena, launching Jones into title contention and cementing his reputation as a force no one wanted to face. The aftermath left Vera with a fractured face, and it left the light heavyweight world with a new nightmare. John Jones' elbows could end anyone's night in an instant. Number 6. Francis Ngannou's demolition of Alistair Overeem at UFC 218 is the definition of heavyweight terror. The fight barely crossed the 90-second mark before Ngannou uncorked a left shovel hook that detonated on Overeem's chin. The force whipped Overeem's head back so violently it looked like time froze. His body went limp in midair and crashed to the canvas. As the crowd gasped, Ngannou sealed the deal with a savage hammer fist to a motionless opponent. The entire arena erupted in disbelief. Joe Rogan's voice barely cut through the chaos. This wasn't just a knockout, it was a warning shot to the division. Ngannou's raw power made even veteran contenders think twice. That single punch, replayed endlessly on highlight reels, turned Ngannou from prospect to nightmare. No fancy technique, just pure, terrifying force that left Overeem and everyone watching in stunned silence. In fifth place, Khamzat Chimaev's one-punch destruction of Gerald Meerschaert at UFC Vegas 11 is the stuff of instant legend. The fight clock barely touched 17 seconds before Chimaev closed the distance and unleashed a missile-straight right hand that detonated on Meerschaert's jaw. No feeling-out process, no warning, just a surgical strike that sent Meerschaert crumpling to the canvas, eyes glazed as the referee dove in to save him from further punishment. The arena buzzed with disbelief, and within hours the knockout had racked up millions of views across social media. Fighters, fans, and pundits all echoed the same question: who in the world would want to stand across from this man now? That single perfect punch didn't just end a fight, it ignited the Khamzat hype train, forcing title talk and making even seasoned contenders think twice. When a finish is that fast and that final, the fear factor is impossible to ignore. Number 4. Israel Adesanya's title-seizing knockout of Robert Whittaker at UFC 243 electrified a record-breaking crowd of over 45,000 in Melbourne. The tension was thick. Two champions, one belt, and an arena roaring with anticipation. Early in the second round, Adesanya's slick head movement set the trap. Whittaker lunged in, and Adesanya countered with a razor-sharp left hook that dropped him instantly. Without hesitation, Adesanya pounced, raining down ground strikes as the referee dove in at 3 minutes 33 seconds of the second round. The stadium erupted, waves of sound crashing over the octagon as Adesanya stood tall, arms raised, newly crowned as the undisputed middleweight king. This was not just a knockout, it was a statement of style and skill on the grandest stage, unifying the belt and sending a message to every contender. Adesanya's finish crowned him undisputed champion and proved his style could end fights on the biggest stage. Coming to the top 3, Georges St. Pierre's rivalry-ending finish of Matt Hughes at UFC 79 delivered a moment of surgical violence that still echoes through welterweight history. The stakes were massive, two legends, national pride on the line, and a bitter feud that had defined the division. Early in round 2, St. Pierre set the trap. A feint at Hughes' legs drew the hands low, then a whip-crack head kick crashed against Hughes' skull. The crowd erupted as Hughes toppled to the mat, dazed and exposed. St. Pierre did not hesitate. He swarmed with a blizzard of ground and pound, mixing pinpoint punches and elbows, while Hughes tried desperately to survive. At 1 minute 25 seconds of round 2, the referee had seen enough. That single sequence did not just end a trilogy, it erased doubts about St. Pierre's finishing instinct and rewrote the narrative from cautious tactician to ruthless champion. Headlines across Canada screamed his name, and a new era began. Which knockout shocked you the most? Comment below. In second place, Conor McGregor's 13-second knockout of Jose Aldo at UFC 194 rewrote the definition of instant destruction. The tension before the opening bell felt electric, Aldo, unbeaten for a decade, staring down the brash Irish challenger who had promised the world a finish. The fight exploded into chaos with the very first exchange. Aldo lunged forward, McGregor slipped just out of range and fired a laser-guided counter left hand that detonated on Aldo's chin. The champion's body collapsed limp before he hit the canvas. McGregor pounced with a hammer fist, but the job was already done. Joe Rogan's voice cracked over the roar. Unbelievable, the king is dead. 13 seconds was all it took to end a 10-year reign and launch McGregor into global superstardom. It was the fastest title knockout in UFC history. The crowd lost its mind, headlines circled the globe, and the sport had a new face overnight. Which knockout shocked you the most? Comment below. And finally, in first place, Anderson Silva's front kick knockout of Vitor Belfort at UFC 126 stands as the most cinematic finish in UFC history. The stage was set, two legends facing off, the air thick with anticipation. Midway through round 1, Silva measured the distance, eyes locked on Belfort. Then, at 3 minutes and 40 seconds into the round, he unleashed a straight front kick that rocketed up the middle and smashed directly into Belfort's face. The impact was immediate and devastating. Belfort's body folded, his legs buckled, and he crashed to the canvas, eyes glazed as the crowd gasped in disbelief. Mike Goldberg's call echoed through the arena, front kick to the face. This was no no ordinary knockout. The technique itself is a rarity at the elite level, but Silva executed it with such precision and violence that it instantly became legend. Endless replays followed, each slow-motion frame capturing the shock, the artistry, and the raw danger of that single strike. In that moment, Silva's GOAT status was carved in stone, a perfect blend of creativity, brutality, and cold-blooded execution. Which knockout shocked you the most? Comment below. Across all 10 savage finishes, one pattern explodes from the chaos. Fear is a weapon, and in the UFC, a single strike can rewrite history in seconds. Brutality isn't rare, it's the heartbeat of the octagon. Which knockout shocked you the most? Comment below.